Panama City over towards Pensacola, Mobile. That's where Mike Seidel was, and those strong thunderstorms has pushed him for shelter right now. We'll try and get him back out a little bit later.
It's sort of a disengaged band, but it's well out there. It's a large system in breadth, but it's small in terms of hurricane strength winds. Let's take a look here at the latest statistics. The winds, the max winds are at 100 miles an hour, and it has been moving pretty steadily to the northwest, 14 miles an hour. Again, the location about 355 miles to the south-southeast of Apalachicola. All right, let's look at the projected path of Dennis. Keeps it on a fairly steady motion here, expecting the landfall to be sometime on Sunday afternoon, early evening. Again, the point of landfall still somewhat unknown. It doesn't necessarily matter the exact point of landfall because there will be a large breadth of impacts from this storm. Adam?
All right, again, let's show you now the latest here. We're putting this into motion for you. Whenever you see those thunderstorms coming together and more of a symmetrical looking situation, now we're talking about potential for development. And again, lost a lot of its oomph as it went over Cuba. It was about 150 miles per hour sustained at one point, now down to 100 miles per hour, and we're continuing to watch it moving to the northwest at about 14 miles per hour. Here are the latest hurricane advisories, tropical storm advisories and hurricane advisories. We have hurricane warnings for a good chunk of the panhandle of Florida here from Steinhatchee River all the way to Pearl River, and we still have some hurricane warnings here for the Keys. We've seen wind gusts here close to about 70 miles per hour and heavy rain already, and we'll obviously continue to watch both of those factors as we go through the next day or so. How about our tropical storm warnings, anywhere from southern Florida right up to the Steinhatchee River again and the mouth of the Mississippi, looking at some problems there. Let's put this into a forecast for you. Here's our projected path. We're talking about Saturday evening. This is us right now. And then by Sunday evening, we could be talking about landfall already. So the day Sunday, forget about heading out to the beach if you're anywhere near this projected path. And we could be talking about a stronger hurricane as well. All indications are that it's going through a little bit of an intensification stage right now. And then by Monday and Tuesday, heavy rain and that tornado threat will also be an issue for us. How about another sort of timeline for us? We've got a projected path on here, area shaded in yellow. But what does that mean exactly as Dennis gets a little bit closer to the coastline? Let's see if I can get out of the way again here. The graphics are chasing me around. Saturday overnight, winds and waves gradually increasing, obviously, as Dennis continues to move further to the coast. Conditions will really deteriorate as early as Sunday morning. And then by Sunday afternoon and evening, this is potentially landfall time now, so we could be talking about peak winds here and major impacts, very heavy rain, as well as tornadoes. And if we could just get a quick look at SkyTracker again, just want to show you a few things. Tornado box right now, we've actually had 3 tornado reports in and around the Tampa area, and with these bands, not that unlikely to see this sort of action. And if you notice, there's our eye. So that's where Dennis is right now, moving to the northwest. Most of the rainfall on the eastern side of Dennis, so that's something else to keep in mind as we continue to track this as it heads north. Places just to the east could be looking at some of the heaviest rain. Well, Jen, what do you have coming up next for us?
Well, folks, stay with us here. There is much more to come. Find out where Dennis is headed and when the storm is expected to make landfall. But first, we want to make sure you stay tuned for your local on the 8s.
This program was brought to you by Chevy, the new Chevrolets, an American revolution.
Chevy, the #1 selling passenger car brand in America. The most dependable, longest-lasting trucks on the road. 9 cars with at least 30 highway miles per gallon. And now, we're proud to announce the Chevy employee discount for everyone has been extended. You pay what we pay, not a cent more. But hurry, offer ends August 1st. The Chevy employee discount for everyone. See your local Chevy dealer before August 1st.
Sometimes all I need is the air that I breathe and to love you.
For the air you breathe, get a Filtrete filter from 3M. Filtrete filters capture more pollen, more dust, more pet dander, and more mold spores than ordinary fiberglass.
All I need is the air that I breathe.
When was the last time you changed your filter? Filtrete filters from 3M for the air you breathe.
I'm just like you. I work hard every day. Back pain or not, because I get big relief from the Icy Hot Back Patch.
Bigger than many ordinary patches. First it's icy to dull the pain, then hot to relax it away. The Icy Hot Back Patch. Honey, does this make me look fat?
You betcha.
In the time it takes to pull out the sleeper sofa, you could save hundreds on car insurance. Geico. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more.
We're going to make accounts payable exciting again. That's what we need to do, people.
In the time it takes to clean out your desk, you could save hundreds on car insurance. Geico. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more.
Hurricane Dennis sets its sights on the Gulf Coast. We're tracking the storm with live reports from the field and in-depth expert analysis throughout the day. Dennis coverage continues right here on the Weather Channel, so stay tuned as we keep you ahead of the storm. Stay tuned. Hurricane Dennis coverage continues. Right now, here's your local on the 8s.
Here's the latest satellite image of Hurricane Dennis. Winds at 100 miles an hour, and it does have a large expanse. The system already bringing rain and thunderstorms and heavy rain at that, much lightning across the Florida Panhandle.
Hello and welcome back. I'm meteorologist Adam Berg.
And I'm Jen Carfagno. We continue to follow Hurricane Dennis. Right now, here's the latest.
Looking at our latest conditions, we have at 3 p.m. now, moving northwest at 14 miles per hour. Winds sustained at 100 miles per hour. Still, though, nearly 300 miles south of Apalachicola, Florida, but it is moving northwest at 14. So here's the forecast.
The projected path of Hurricane Dennis here keeps it on a fairly steady motion off to the northwest. Looking at the timing, by Sunday evening, Sunday late afternoon, we'll start to watch the core, the eye of Hurricane Dennis begin to make an approach towards a landfall, but we'll feel the effects sooner. The weather conditions are continuing to go downhill. Absolutely.
Now, people in Panama City Beach are taking a proactive approach to Hurricane Dennis. Some are boarding up and stocking up, and others are simply getting out of town.
Weather Channel meteorologist Mike Bettis talked to some of the locals in the Panama City area.
With Hurricane Dennis headed this way, gun-shy residents aren't taking any chances. They're getting ready, and they're getting ready early. Everywhere you look in Panama City and Panama City Beach, it's an all too familiar sight, buildings and homes being boarded up. People aren't taking anything for granted with Dennis, especially after what happened last year with Hurricane Ivan.
We bought a chainsaw, some oil, and water.
And we're buying some plywood. We're getting a little bit more prepared this year, cleaning the yards up, putting the windows covering the windows up, putting things away this year.
Last 2 days have been real hectic. We were here last night till the last customer left, and we'll try to do that today. We'll try to stay as long as we can.
And what are they buying?
the usual hurricane supplies where you've had plywood, bottled water, of course generators, extension cords, plywood clips like you see this up here. It makes it easy to put up plywood.
Extra flashlights, a raincoat, and a deadbolt. Yeah, I got broke into the last hurricane, so I'm securing it a little bit better.
This normally booming tourist town is all but a ghost town now, and for good reason, with Hurricane Dennis headed this way. Mandatory evacuations have been ordered for all of the beaches. Reporting from Panama City Beach, I'm meteorologist Mike Bettis.
Even though you're looking at some sunny conditions earlier where Mike Bettis was, Dennis continues to churn right now in the eastern Gulf.
No, it's certainly not a day at the beach. And let's show you what we know right now here about the current conditions. The projected path of Dennis, again, keeps it on a steady course. I want to show you the latest sustained winds. Key West earlier today saw sustained winds up to 58 miles an hour with some wind gusts up to 74 miles an hour. So right now we are looking at a sustained wind of 37 miles per hour in Key West. I want to take you up the coast, though, because now our attention is focused. Our focus is shifting as we head here along the Gulf Coast. Pensacola has been sustained about 18 here as we head over towards Mobile, about 12, and these winds are going to continue to be on the increase as we head through the day today, the evening, and of course overnight for sure tomorrow. All right, let's look historically at the track of Dennis. When it started out here in the Caribbean, it's quickly spun up here into a hurricane, and then as we watched it here track just to the north of Jamaica, it made 2 landfalls in Cuba. The second one, it really spent an extended time over land, and it wasn't such that the track changed or it slowed down, but it just took a little wobble, and that little wobble kept it over land for a longer period of time here, causing tremendous rainfall and winds across Cuba. And now the latest stats keep Dennis here on the steady movement northwest at 14 miles an hour and the winds at 100 miles per hour. There is some indication that it is going through a strengthening phase at this point, so those winds could certainly increase. Now let's look at the other risks that we have with this storm besides the rain and besides the wind. The oceans, well, we have the rip current risk, and Saturday has certainly not been a day at the beach because of the storms in South Florida. And besides that, the rip current risk is high. The weather actually has not been all that bad until now here across the Panhandle, but today either because of the high rip current risk, or at least the moderate one, and becoming higher as we go through the day, certainly not a day to head to the water. The waves look fun, but they certainly can be dangerous. Now looking otherwise, it's folks traveling here. Most folks are heading out of town. I want to take a look here at the conditions for you on the interstates. In the South Florida, by far, we've seen some of the worst travel conditions with 3 to 4 inches of rain across much of a large portion of South Florida. Heavy rain along I-75 with some strong winds. I-95, it's been fairly windy with some showers as well. And along I-10 so far, just scattered thunderstorms, but we do anticipate here that to be on the increase. Let's look at what the latest situation on SkyTracker. A tornado watch continues. In fact, a new one has just been issued that continues the tornado threat across the west coast of the Florida Peninsula. We'll continue to bring you the latest right now. Adam?
Well, Jen, we'll have the very latest on Hurricane Dennis coming up. Plus, straight ahead, the storm pounded Cuba already just Friday. Coming up, find out if the United States will suffer the same fate. But first, stay tuned for your local on the 8s.
We probably can't stand another emotional beating like we took with Ivan. I mean, it's just when things are starting to resemble some normalcy around here. You know, we've had storms flowing through again. And it's just, I'm afraid it's just going to be too much for some folks.
A lot of people with those thoughts right now. Hello and welcome back. I'm Adam Berg.
And I'm Jen Carfagno. The troubles associated with this hurricane won't end once the storm makes landfall. We want to take a look at the next 7 days and show you just how long we are going to be dealing with the rain and the wind from Dennis. All right, we start off with your Sunday forecast. And of course, we're watching the landfall of Hurricane Dennis at some point, Sunday, late Sunday here, as we continue to watch the Florida Panhandle, coastal areas of Alabama and Mississippi. Watching, though, this area as we track through the next couple of days to continue to be a concern as Dennis moves but slows down considerably here across the lower Mississippi River Valley. We're going to continue to watch rain and wind here be a concern across parts of Tennessee, parts of Mississippi, Alabama, and potentially even North Georgia. So an extensive period of time of rain, and this is just after Cindy brought tremendous rain here to some parts of this portion of the country. So we will watch for some flooding potential. It's not going to take much to do some flooding because of how saturated the ground already is. We get to Tuesday and we're still dealing with the remnants here, and we're still dealing with a rain threat here for you across the lower and central Mississippi River Valley, St. Louis, Memphis, Nashville. Boy, if this was your week of vacation, you certainly aren't going to get much of it. It takes Wednesday until even Thursday till we really get to start to see things moving a little bit here across the East Coast. And meanwhile, the West, well, this is a quiet time and it's a hot time for folks here in the West. We're going to continue to see the hot weather and the dry weather. That monsoon is nowhere to be seen here across the Southwest. Now, how about those temperatures?
Well, Jennifer, I'm telling you, they're going to be talking about heat not only across much of the West, and we'll show you that warm up here in a moment, but check out the temperatures across much of the midsection of the country right now. Chicago, Minneapolis, all of the plains dealing with highs well into the 90s, maybe even a few records being set today across the Dakotas. Then things should cool down as a cold front pushes through. Meanwhile, temperatures held down because of Dennis making its landfall sometime Sunday into Monday, so you'll be having 70s and 80s across a good chunk of the east right into Tuesday and Wednesday. In fact, much of the week, just looking at these showers and thunderstorms across a good chunk of the east. Meanwhile, look at the west really heating up now. Again, that cold front pushes through and then big time heat. Look at all that triple-digit heat. That's what the pink is all about across the Great Basin. Jen, what do you have for us?
All right, well, stay with us, folks. There's much more to come here on the Weather Channel. If you are in the path of Hurricane Dennis and you haven't evacuated yet, time is running out. The latest on the storm is next, and coming up, we have your local on the 8s.
Can I get life insurance at my age, in my health?
I'd like to leave my loved ones with a little something when I'm gone, but I'm afraid I'm too old to get life insurance.
If you're like these nice folks and thought life insurance after 45 was impossible to get or impossible to afford, I've got good news. If you're 45 to 80, Physicians Life Insurance Company guarantees you up to $10,000 of permanent modified whole life insurance, designed to help your family with the expenses they'll face. You cannot be turned down because of your health. No questions asked. Just $1 pays for your first month of protection. After that, you can continue at an affordable renewal rate that can never go up. Plus, your coverage can never be canceled because of your age or health. Easy to get and easy to afford. Now let me tell you why this protection is so important. All of us someday may leave behind expenses for our loved ones to pay. There's no escaping it. These expenses can easily add up to thousands of dollars. You know, some people even expect the government to take care of these expenses. But the fact is, Social Security currently pays a death benefit of just $255, and only if you qualify. That's why you should take a closer look at this coverage. It's one sure way you can help leave your loved ones with dollars instead of debts. It's exactly the kind of security you'd expect from Physicians Life, a leader in providing strength and service you can depend on. This is one phone call your loved ones will be thankful for later. So don't delay. Call right now.
To get your free information directly by mail, call toll-free 1-800-258-5900. There's no cost or obligation. You're just calling for information. That's 1-800-258-5900.
We're here when you need us, Physicians Mutual.
This morning it was pretty emotional when I got up and looked at the news and saw it was still coming this way. Somehow when I went to bed I was thinking it would turn off, hopefully, but I'm pretty tore up. I mean, I told my wife I'd never sell her, I'd leave this place for my kids, but one more of these I might give. It might be all I can take.
Hello and welcome back. I'm meteorologist Adam Berg.
And I'm Jen Carfagno. Folks are certainly taking the storm very seriously. We want to show you the latest right now on Hurricane Dennis. And as we look at our sky tracker, you can see that we have an outer band of Hurricane Dennis already affecting the Gulf Coast. Mobile getting some heavy rain as well as some very frequent lightning. And we have some rain heading towards the Biloxi area as well. So we'll continue to bring you the latest on Dennis as we track the storm here across the Gulf of Mexico.
That's right, a lot of flooding and then that tornado threat through the rest of today. And then as we watch Dennis move closer to the Panhandle, we'll be talking about more of the same here in the next couple of days. You'll want to keep it here.
First, though, your local on the 8s are next.
Hurricane Dennis brushed the Florida Keys, bringing heavy rain and high winds to the area. The latest in Dennis is just ahead.
And we are in storm alert mode here at the Weather Channel. Hurricane Dennis continues to churn in the Gulf of Mexico. I'm Jen Carfagno.
And I'm Adam Berg. As the folks along the Florida Panhandle are bracing for Dennis, residents of the Keys are just now coming out of it.
But is what they had to deal with, Dennis dumped at least 3.5 inches of rain on the area. Wind gusts were clocked at 74 miles an hour in Key West. Now here is the latest on the storm. The winds are at 100 miles per hour. It's moving to the northwest, still at 14 miles an hour, and its location now 295 miles to the south of Apalachicola, Florida.
Let's put that into a forecast for you. Looking at the swath, it'll continue to move to the northwest. Right now moving northwest at about 14 miles per hour. So we could be talking about landfall as early as Sunday evening. Sunday afternoon, everybody needs to either hunker down or evacuate if you are in that path. Anywhere from western Florida, the Panhandle there, all the way over to New Orleans. You need to keep watching closely for further updates.
Okay, we want to continue to watch the latest. In fact, I want to look at our SkyTracker radar to show you where we have some storms in outer band from Hurricane Dennis that is affecting the Florida Panhandle and over towards Alabama and Mississippi. We're getting some rain as well. Now we're going to watch this band continue to bring some heavy rain, but also some very frequent lightning. And that has been affecting our live crew where Mike Seidel is here near Mobile. We're going to watch this area and we'll continue to watch the west coast of Florida for some very heavy rain. Now let's get a look here at the path as we continue to watch where Dennis is going to move. We're watching the west coast of Florida, and along the west coast a new tornado watch has just been issued. Now this extends the tornado threat until 11 o'clock tonight, and it's very persistent here. We're going to see the rain continuing, the threat for storms, some of those potentially causing tornadoes. We've had reports of 3 of them around the greater Tampa area today. And if you're making your way here, say back to Tampa after some traveling, the I-75 corridor is going to be soaked here. Some very heavy rain just north of town. And as you head on 75 southward, it's wet the whole way. And we've had some persistent rain up over 3 to 4 inches in a pretty widespread area with locally higher amounts. And so no doubt that there are some areas where you're dealing with flooding here in South Florida. All right, looking at the vantage point here, you can see clearly the eye of Hurricane Dennis on the radar. Again, some of the heaviest of rain is offshore at the moment in western Florida, but we're still getting some pretty steady rain for you here. As we make our way up the coast, that one area of rain that I showed you here, the thunderstorms that are just moving north of Mobile, frequent lightning with these storms. We also have another batch in South Georgia, and as folks here travel, perhaps they're on 231 making their way out of Panama City towards Dothan, Alabama, hitting some very heavy rain at the moment, as well as some frequent lightning here as well. I-10, you're getting some hit or miss storms, and we'll continue to track this area for worsening conditions. Now, right now, let's look at the path of the storm and the forecast for the storm as we go through the day today and into tomorrow. Looking at a potential landfall Sunday, late Sunday, Sunday evening. We'll watch the system, though, continue to worsen conditions along the Gulf Coast as we head through the day tomorrow. So this is about your last chance here to get out of town. If you are in this area, whether you're a visitor or whether you're a resident here, get your preparations made and head north. We are going to watch for conditions to go downhill. Again, already seeing those storms. And then as we watch the track of Dennis, it's really going to stay put for quite a while, and it's going to be an extended period of time, a couple of days, that we're looking at some persistent rain across this region, across eastern parts of into northern Mississippi, into western Tennessee, and eastern Arkansas. So rain is going to continue to be a concern for folks across this region. Adam, we're going to send it over to you.
All right, let's talk about some of these current wind gusts. If we can head over to Weather Pro 1. Here we are, latest wind gusts in miles per hour. Hurricane Dennis continues to slide to the northwest. Seeing wind gusts around Key West right now, 54 miles per hour. We made it up to about 70 miles per hour, but as Dennis continues to move to the northwest, we should see these winds begin to spin down a little bit. So 20, 30 to about 50 plus miles per hour over the next few hours. And as we head north, things will change a bit. We have more for you. Those are our wind gusts. How about the latest wind gusts, looking at a little bit of a larger view so you can see how Cuba's looking. We don't have wind gusts here, but man, just go back a day or so ago, we had Hurricane Dennis at 150 miles per hour when it was in between Cuba and Jamaica. So some major wind problems across a good chunk of Cuba. Most of Florida being spared right now, still seeing some showers, thunderstorms, even a couple of tornado reports around Tampa. But as Dennis heads northbound, we'll really have to focus in closely on the panhandle of Florida right through here over towards the mouth of the Mississippi. Here's a slightly different vantage point showing you a few more wind gusts, up to about 24 miles per hour right now around Tampa. Orlando at 31 miles per hour. And we're going to stay about the same here across the western coast of Florida right through Sunday. We don't expect our system to make a turn to the northeast, so it'll continue moving northbound, north to northwest. So again, anywhere from Pensacola, Panhandle of Florida, right over to New Orleans, you're going to see those winds really increasing tonight, wave levels increasing tonight. It's going to be a real mess through about Sunday into Monday. Jen, what do you have for us?
All right, folks, we'll stay with us. We do have more coverage to come. Right now, areas of the Florida Panhandle are deserted, but if you are still in harm's way, now may not be the time to leave. We'll have the latest on Hurricane Dennis coming up next. But first, we want you to stay tuned for your local on the 8s.
And you're on the cutting edge of nutrition. New South Beach Diet Foods. Forget low carbs. Forget low fat. Think the right carbs, the right fats, and lean protein. In a full line of wraps, pizza, cereal, even cookies. South Beach Diet Foods from Kraft. Life is better on the beach.
Houses can be full of allergens.
Allergens?
Yes, from doggy dander, kitty dander, dust mites, odors too. They're all down in your carpet. Here's the Arm & Hammer answer. A new carpet deodorizer made to clean out both odors and allergens.
It's not a cover-up.
No, the baking soda dives down, knocks out odors. Static breakers loosen allergens. Your vacuum does the rest.
You know, every time you see Jim show up, it's trouble. So we got a hurricane in Jim, it's double trouble. So somebody needs to give us a break. We've kind of filled in that square.
You see the sign. People in Pensacola Beach, Florida want a break. This area was hit hard by Ivan last year, and many are yet to recover. And now they're facing the threat of Hurricane Dennis.
Hello and welcome back. I'm meteorologist Adam Berg.
And I'm Jen Carfagna. We continue to follow Hurricane Dennis. Right now, let's give you the latest. We are looking at the latest conditions at 100 miles per hour, moving towards the northwest at 14. The latest location 295 miles south of Apalachicola, Florida.
Let's put this into a forecast for you. Here's our projected path, taking Dennis from this evening very near the Florida Panhandle coast, anywhere from there over towards New Orleans, southeastern Louisiana, sometime maybe as early as 24 hours from now. So you'll notice the winds increasing, the waves becoming quite choppy, and it's really going to be a tough travel situation for you, so try and stay off those roads if you can.
Now, people who live along Florida's west coast are relieved that Hurricane Dennis is passing by.
And that's right. Many of them have not forgotten the damage suffered from last year's hurricane season, which really just seems like a couple months ago to a lot of people in Florida. Meteorologist Janine Albert has more.
Traffic is light today on the Sanibel Causeway. Visitors are taking it easy.
So today, what were you guys doing with your family? You're just staying inside?
We're staying inside. We're visiting some of the shops and stay around for a little while, and then we'll take off. So
Here at Jerry's Supermarket, you can see the shelves are still plenty full. They were prepared for this one, and they are so happy it moved off to the west.
The good news is this morning that it's tracking just the way they said it would, and it's going to stay 100 miles offshore, so not to worry.
What did you think about the storm when you heard it was coming?
We were nervous at first because we thought it was going to hit again, because we were here last year and we had to go out because of Charlie, and we didn't want to go up this time.
This time, Sanibel Island got lucky, but it's only July. The end of hurricane season is a long way away. I'm meteorologist Janine Albert.
You know that tornadoes are always possible with a landfalling hurricane.
That's right. Not only tornadoes, but flooding. So joining us now is our severe weather expert, Dr. Greg Forbes. Dr. Forbes, what can we expect to see as far as tornadoes and flooding goes over the next couple of days?
Well, these threats, Adam, are beginning to spread farther northwest. Right now, the tornado threat's in the northwest portion of the Florida Peninsula. It will move ultimately into Alabama and Georgia tomorrow. Let's take a look. Right now, the main threat is up in areas north and west of Tampa. A lot of these bands of heavy rain now, as Dennis pulls farther away from the Florida Peninsula, beginning to push offshore, but still these areas up around Cedar Key and Beverly Hills and Inverness, Levy, Citrus, Hernando, and Sumter counties. That's where the main threat is now, just to the north and west of the Orlando area. That's where the heaviest rain is as well. Let's switch sources. We'll see the forecast for these storms. The tornado threat into hurricanes and tropical storms is highest in the right front quadrant relative to where the center is, and that takes it now away, diminishing threats for southern Florida, but pushes it up toward the Florida Panhandle and later on into southern Alabama, southern Georgia. I'll give you some timelines. By midnight tonight, could get up the whole way into northern Florida and the Florida Panhandle, especially the western areas here. And then tomorrow, coming across southern Georgia, spreading its way perhaps as far north as Birmingham and Atlanta tomorrow as well. A lot of the heavier rain will be following just to the west of that tornado threat area, and a lot of area here, dark shaded areas, will get 4 inches or more. The real problems for flash flooding are going to be some of these local spots could get 12 inches where the thunderstorms stall out, where some of these rain bands stall out, and definitely those will cause flooding. And we could have some river rises as well from that widespread 4-inch. Jen and Adam?
Thanks for that, Dr. Forbes. Dennis continues to churn right now in the eastern Gulf.
And we want to show folks what we know at this point. We're going to, again, take a look at the radar tour and reiterate the tornado watch that we have in effect in the tornado threat that we have here across the west coast of Florida. So looking at the radar, you can see some pretty steady rain here still along the western part of the Florida Peninsula, and folks here still at times getting some gusty winds with some of these thunderstorms as they continue to move on through. Now let's continue our radar tour. I want to take us a little bit farther to the north. First stop though, we're going to zoom into the region here across southern Florida. A lot of folks may be in town vacationing, and folks from Captiva to Sanibel up towards Tampa and Clearwater did not need to evacuate, but they're certainly having a rainy day, and it's not a beach day. You may be inside going to some of the events here, doing a little shopping, but we certainly are not at the beach, that's for sure. The rip current threat is very high besides all of the rain that we have. Now let's head northward, and we're going to continue our radar tour and look at some other places that we are continuing to see the chance for the thunderstorms. Spotty right now across the Florida Panhandle. Across the Florida Panhandle, though, we will see conditions worsen as we go through overnight into tomorrow, and by far tomorrow we want to stay off the roads, stay off the beach for sure across this region. North of I-10, that's where we have the heaviest of rainfall bands. I-65, which right now is going 4 lanes all northbound. We are getting some very steady heavy rain with some very frequent lightning across this region. Southern parts of Georgia up towards Albany and over towards Dothan in Alabama getting some heavy rain as well. Adam?
Stay with us, everybody. There's much more to come on the Weather Channel. The Florida Keys were pounded by Dennis earlier today with heavy rain, and the storm continues to move closer to the Alabama-Florida coast. The latest on Dennis just ahead, but first, stay tuned for your local on the 8th.
Tony, most people want to get in better shape, but they just don't have the time.
Well, Stacy, what if I told you in just 3 20-minute workouts, only 1 hour a week?
This may look like a good day to surfers, but it is not. We are looking at scenes from Miami Beach where some surfers are taking advantage of large waves, but there is also an extremely high rip current threat, as well as some tremendous waves here, even on the other side of the Florida Peninsula, as Hurricane Dennis continues to churn into the Gulf of Mexico.
I'm Adam Berg. Thanks for joining us here on a very busy Saturday afternoon.
And I'm Jen Carfagno. It is 50 past the hour, and that means one thing here on the Weather Channel. It's time for the Tropical Update.
Let's do it. We've been talking about it all day long. Let's talk about it some more. Here's our projected path with Dennis right now. Now, everywhere in that yellow doesn't necessarily mean you're going to see that direct impact. The actual eye wall, very small, and that's where the worst of it will be. Now, the heavy rain threat, that'll be more on the eastern side of the system. But again, anywhere shaded in yellow, especially later in the day, Sunday, just forget about doing any traveling. There are going to be a lot of evacuations here, so just continue to tune into your local emergency management in your area and get out of town over the next day or so if this system does continue to move your way. Let's talk about over the last 5 days here and put this into motion. Became a tropical system a few days ago, then a hurricane, very strong hurricane as it moved in between Jamaica and Cuba, almost reaching Category 5 status, already one of the earliest Category 4s to make landfall in the Atlantic, actually the earliest to make landfall in the Atlantic on record. So it just gives you an idea of the kind of stormy season we may be in for. Right now, moving northwest at about 14 miles per hour, winds sustained at 100 miles per hour. And as it keeps moving northbound, we're talking about the winds really increasing. Right now, not too bad around places like Tampa or Orlando and up towards the Panhandle. But as our system continues to move to the northwest, things will deteriorate big time. How about the hurricane warnings right now? Really, much of western Florida, the Panhandle, over towards, and we're actually from the Steinhatchee, that's how you pronounce this river, over towards Pearl River, very close to New Orleans. So any little bit of jog in the track could be devastating for some places. So you'll have to keep watching here. Again, here's our projected path, taking it northbound, landfall as early as Sunday afternoon for some of you. And then we're talking about a big time heavy rainmaker. Flood watch is out for much of this area. We just had a tropical system not too long ago. More coming your way. Jen, what do you have for us?
Well, folks, just continue to stay with us because we have much more to come. We continue to track Hurricane Dennis as it begins to threaten the northern Gulf Coast. When will it hit? Just how bad could it get? Well, full details are coming up next, but first, stay tuned for your local on the 8th.
Can't stand the scorching heat? Slip on the personal cooling system to keep cool and comfortable all summer. Exclusively from Sharper Image, the personal cooling system keeps your body so nice and cool, you might think you're wearing a miniature air conditioner. But here's how it works. Switch on the Whisper Quiet fan, and the accelerated cooling process creates a cool zone that's up to 20 degrees cooler than the hot air around you.
As soon as I put it on, I felt incredibly better. Yeah, refreshed.
Refreshing.
With all this extra weight, I definitely need this for the summer.
Feel like the temperature outside has gone down a good 15 degrees just having this on.
It starts off with your neck and it goes around your throat and then it just goes down your whole body.
This thing is great. On hot summer days, it's perfect. It's lightweight. I love it.
And I just put this on and this makes a world of difference. I think I can jog for another hour with this.
It's nice and cooling. And at this stage of my life, I need this.
The coated high-tech plates conduct cooling temperatures to your body and adjust to fit comfortably.
Feels so good. It's like an air conditioning on my neck.
Personal cooling system helps on the back nine. If the sun's going up, you're finishing your game, this thing is incredible.
It cools you off. It's really great. I like it.
I can think of about 10 friends that would love this.
Beat the heat all summer. If you have to work outside, let the personal cooling system keep you cool and comfortable. Enjoy every minute this summer, whether it's a day at the lake, a full 18 holes on the golf course, or even the most strenuous activities. You'll have fun all summer long. Just slip on the personal cooling system. Don't get wet, stay dry, and keep cool for hours. And you'll stay even cooler with the Light Fantastic, the powerful fan that adds a cool light show that will entertain everyone. It's free with your order.
Call 1-800-316-9611. Beat the heat and stay cool all summer long with your personal cooling system from Sharper Image. Call 1-800-316-9611.
Our biggest concern is, we already were without a lot of our local residents being the primary grocery store for the island. And if we lose more, it's just that much more difficult to hang in there. And the tourists weren't here this summer already. It was a very weak summer. So it's going to make a difficult situation worse.
Hello and welcome back. I'm meteorologist Adam Berg.
And I'm Jen Carfagna. We're continuing to watch Hurricane Dennis. Folks here are not looking forward to dealing with another tropical system. We have the latest conditions for you. Right now, the wind's at 100 miles per hour. The movement's still northwest at 14, and the latest position is 295 miles south of Apalachicola.
It will be approaching Apalachicola. Here's our projected swath, and that takes it inland, believe it or not, as early as about 24 hours from now. So anybody with interest along the Gulf Coast need to keep it here for the latest updates.
We'll continue to bring you the latest here as the storm continues to churn in the Gulf of Mexico.
Things have already started to heat up in Mobile, Alabama, and it'll get worse. Stay with us. More on the way.
Hurricane Dennis coverage continues right here on the Weather Channel.
Well, Hurricane Dennis is filling the streets as high as heavy-duty pickup trucks in Key West.
And as it barrels north, it's bringing tornadoes with it.
Gulf Coast residents continue to crowd highways to get out of harm's way. Hurricane Dennis is getting closer.
And here's where it is right now. You can see it well to the southwest of southwestern Florida. It is moving toward the central Gulf Coast. Landfall expected sometime late tomorrow afternoon or early in the evening hours. We're awaiting the next advisory. In the meantime, winds are 100 miles per hour. More intensification is expected. Of course, at one time, it had been a Category 4 hurricane. Hello and welcome back to our continuing coverage of Hurricane Dennis. I'm Bob Stokes.
And I'm Nicole Mitchell. Thank you for joining us. We are in storm alert mode because the United States landfall is imminent for Hurricane Dennis, and it continues to strengthen again now that it's back in the Gulf of Mexico.
That's right, Nicole. And the Pensacola area is storm weary after last year's hurricane season, and they're once again in the path of oncoming Hurricane Dennis. And there's a look at the projected path headed toward the central Gulf Coast. Watch out around Mobile. Hopefully you have your preparations already complete. Winds and waves gradually increasing. Now tomorrow morning, conditions deteriorating, high seas, strong winds, and you can see the peak impacts will be Sunday afternoon going into the evening time. Of course, the Weather Channel will be on top of it for you.
And as Bob mentioned, the Pensacola area has already said enough is enough after last season's hurricane season. They are once again in the path of the oncoming Hurricane Dennis. So they're going to be watching this area very, very closely over the coming days.
And we turn to our storm tracker, Jim Cantor. We find him this afternoon watching and waiting for Dennis.
And Jim, it must be just like a ghost town around there, I'm imagining.
That's exactly right, Nicole. I mean, check this out, folks. It's a weekend, a beautiful weekend, at least right now. As we look out over the water, you can see basically nobody on the beach here on what is a beautiful day. And of course, you think about a July weekend here, midsummer, people are off from school, want to get out, get to the beach, but not today. Once again here, this hurricane season, we find people running away from harm. Let's talk about this on the radar here. We've already had our first outer bands of Dennis make their way onto the panhandle here. This one blew through here pretty quickly, but there were some very heavy downpours, 2-inch-per-hour rainfall rates, and even over to my west, our meteorologist Mike Seidel threatened by lightning there. He had to can a couple of live shots as a result of that. So some strong storms with these outer bands. They're only going to get worse, folks. Right now, a nice break, if you will. Radar showing that break here. Some storms coming in offshore. What we did today was actually go around and look at all the different things that were going on in this island here, and we got a chance to look at what's left of Ivan and get an idea of if this is a Category 3 or a storm like Ivan, what would happen to some of these things. Take a look. Dumpsters like this will float when the surge comes in and bang into homes that have been constructed after Ivan. Piles of trash just like this will begin to float when the surge comes in and make their way all the way to the other side of the sound. Roofs like these, almost completed after the damage from Ivan, may have to start all over again. Dumpsters like these will begin to float when the surge comes in and bang into newly constructed homes like that. And trailers like this that have been home to so many for 10 months now after Ivan will literally be picked up and washed away. The power of water. This time from Dennis. Well, and once again, we could be looking at a very similar storm surge with this one coming up a lot quicker, we think, and hitting a lot harder than Ivan did with a direct hit. That is yet to be seen. Let's check out the forecast here, folks. Again, people continue with their last-minute preparations, getting out of harm's way. As we go into Sunday morning, expect more of these squalls to come through. Winds will be gusting to 50 miles an hour at times, even behind the squalls after the rain finishes. And then, of course, Sunday night, that's when we deal with the full brunt of this thing, whatever it's going to be, whether it goes to Mobile or to our east. We're just going to have to wait and see on that. There's a lot of uncertainties, but everybody in the Florida Panhandle, all the way back to the Louisiana Delta, need to be ready for this very dangerous hurricane because it surely looks like it's going to get a lot stronger before it moves in. Nicole and Bob, back to you.
Thank you very much, Jim Cantore, for reporting live for us. And we just got some information that the pressures in Hurricane Dennis have been dropping, not dramatically, but there's a drop, and when pressures drop in a hurricane, that means intensification.
Yeah, usually the winds catch up after that. So we'll continue to monitor that, but south of Pensacola Beach, Florida's west coast has been taking a beating by weather being spawned by Hurricane Dennis. Here's a look at some damage around the Tampa area when the outer bands of Dennis moved through about 6 a.m. this morning. Now, several homes received damage through the morning hours. One woman describes that scary scene.
It sounded like the engines on a train. That, you know, the whistling sound as they start picking up speed. That's what it sounded like.
And this is what it looked like after residents of Madeira Beach, Florida heard that sound. Trees uprooted, roofs peeled away. There were 3 reports of tornadoes just this morning around the greater Tampa area. Of course, there are many things you can do to protect your home from a hurricane or tornado spawned by a hurricane. Now, first of all, you should put boards or hurricane shutters over those windows. Anything that's outside should be brought inside or anchored down. And to prepare for a possible water shortage or contamination, you'll want to fill several containers with drinking water before a hurricane hits. It's, of course, a good idea to store your valuables in waterproof containers. And before you evacuate, well, remember to turn off all those utilities. Now, Bob, we have several severe storms that have been spawned by Hurricane Dennis. Can you give us the latest on that?
Well, let's take a look at some storms right now as we head toward Mobile Bay, and also we're threatened by tornadoes across parts of Florida. And let's take another look at Dennis, this broad satellite view. It's headed toward the central Gulf Coast by tomorrow in the afternoon going into the evening. The Local on the 8s is next.